Hello there.
Hello, and it's hello from him.
And it's hello from her.
How are you doing? Here's Pixie590 and
John Colchap Pertwee.
today we're going to do a review. Now this is a different kind of a review. I'm going to review two films of John's that are, well, let's just say
Gems.
not my favourites. They are, well, an acquired taste. And John's going to do two of my films that are very good. I'll give you smirking. Right, I'll begin. Okay, so I'm going to begin with...
Where's the camera lens?
It's there.
Oh, okay, right.
with one that I ribbed John about a lot. And if I'm going to have a go to pull something down, it's normally this film. Here is the film, Blacula. And believe it or not,
Double bill.
I'll never know how, but it managed to get a sequel, which is Scream Blacula Scream. Although why would he be screaming? Anyway, let's give you a little bit of a storyline. Now, Blacula is basically a vampire.
No. He's Prince van Waldi, and he's found in the basement of this house. Or he goes to investigate, and there's a vampire already buried there in there, or something like that.
And trying to say this without sounding incorrect, he's a coloured gentleman, and for some reason that's what gets him the title of Blacula instead of Dracula. Not quite sure. It was made in the 70s, guys, so I take no responsibility for the naming of this. Now, when I watched this, it was, I was in, apart from the fact I need one right now, because look at the state of this fringe. They all had very Afro-Caribbean hair. Not the kind of dreadlock type, the kind of, what was the?
Fro. They all had
Afro,
fros.
that
Yeah,
was it,
fros,
yeah. The acting is very wooden. It is. It's very wooden. It's so basically Dracula comes across this guy who'd gone into this house to investigate and turned him into a vampire, hence the name Blacula.
I name you Blacula.
He goes across the centuries looking for his sweetheart, his love, and they end up in 70s America, and it's about him trying to acquire this lady. It's, you've got to be real dedicated to want to watch this one, guys. And then tell them about the sequel, because
I'll read the back of the sequel. In Scream, Blacula Scream rises above the B-movie status. Excuse me. I've just had a biscuit, so I've got a tickle in my throat. B-movie status with enough lush cinematography to give Hammer Horror a run for its money. Excuse me a second.
Sorry. I've not had biscuits, I just...
Taking things to a new level in 70s icon, Pam Grier is a shapely voodoo priestess in this tale of black magic and revenge.
So, John, what was your score?
10.
Yeah, mine was about 3. But, you know, we can't all be the same. We can't all like the same thing, can we? Right, John, you can go.
Where do you start?
It's a crime.
Where do you start?
It's a crime you picked that film. That film is brilliant.
Right, this is Working Girl. Now, the reason I don't like this film, the main reason I don't like this film, as you'll know, this is on the Woolworths Worth It label. There we are. That's it.
We're going back a bit.
We're going back a bit. Now, this stars Harrison Ford, Melanie Griffiths, and Sigourney Weaver. So you would think with a great cast like that it would be, you know, well, it is. I will say I don't hate anything. There's a couple of things I'm not too keen on, but I don't hate it. But I picked this one as my one of the most disappointing films it is, because I was expecting kind of a different performance from that character and that character.
But in fairness, it's an 80s film. There's only so much, really. You know, you've got to think of the time, the things that were going off. Yeah. The hairstyles.
Anyway, Working Girl tells the tale of Melanie Griffiths, and she's got everything going for her except the right haircut, the right clothes, and most importantly, the right job. She goes to work at this company. Sigourney Weaver's the boss.
Sigourney Weaver's the boss. She goes on holiday and hurts herself, and she asks her secretary, Melanie Griffin, to go and pick some stuff up from her apartment and to keep the office going. Well, Melanie's got lots of ideas that she wants to make work, and she meets Harrison Ford's character. I can't remember his name right now, and she pitches him her ideas, and he thinks it's great, and he's working with her, and then Sigourney Weaver comes back to put a spoke in the works and tries to pretend it's all her idea. And it's a brilliant film. I don't know why you picked that as I don't like it.
I didn't pick it as I don't like it. When I went to see it, I had a particularly miserable time. And so unfortunately the film is kind of labelled with that time. I have seen it a couple of times since then.
And Alec Baldwin in it as Melanie Griffin's early on boyfriend.
Yeah, it might be, yeah. But it's just not one that I would go back to again and again.
Especially if you like 80s films, give it a watch. Right. The next one for me, this was a real treasure, this one was. And it comes out
It's a seasonal
every Christmas.
Seasonal rewatch.
Now, this is Silent Night, Deadly Night. Now, Silent Night, Deadly Night is a story about a boy who's going somewhere with his parents, and it's Christmas Eve, and this maniac gets him to stop the car, kills his mum and dad. He's dressed as Santa at the time. And from this point on, this boy hates Santa, and there's a bit where it's in a orphanage with some nuns and things and children. And it's Christmas Eve, and he kicks off and attacks the Santa Claus. Anyway, move forward to about his early 20s, and he's working in a video show. Not video show, that's good. He's working in a toy store, and it's... I mean, why would you work in a toy store at Christmas if you didn't like him? Anyway, so he dresses as the person he hates the most, Santa Claus, and goes on a killing spree. I've got to say, like John, I don't think it's the worst film ever made. It takes a lot of watching, and you're never going to believe this. It's got how many sequels?
I think they made I'm fairly sure they made 4 or 5 of these type of films. The last one had Mickey Rooney in it from Night at the Museum.
This is, number 2 is on here
called
as
The Toy
well.
Maker.
Which is Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. That's original.
They were original in the 70s.
It's not the worst film ever made. Now, why do you like this film, John?
I like that film because, in fact, like a lot of with the Christmas horror films, it's got a line of mean running through it, a little bit like the Black Christmas original, whereas there's a guy in the attic, and instead of kind of the recent Black Christmas seemed to have lost the line of mean that run through so many of these 70s and 80s slasher and horror films. It's just, I think it's got so many good things running through it, and I think because it's one of the benchmark Christmas movies, certainly for me anyway. Moving on to this one, right, now where do I start? How long have we got to talk about this delightful cinematic gem? Now, in case you can't see...
He tells lies about this film,
in case you can't
just so
see,
you know.
This is the day the Earth stood still, and you get special features.
But it's the Keanu Reeves...
Yes. This is a Keanu Reeves version. Now, people might know Keanu Reeves from such films as Freaked, Speed,
Oh, come on. He was in The Matrix. He was in Bill and Ted. No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
He was in Point Break. The one with Patrick Swayze.
Dracula. He was in Bram Stoker's Dracula. Anyway, Keanu Reeves in this plays an alien. Now, anyone that's seen you can't even compare them with the film with the same name, starring Michael Rennie from the 1950s. Is a pure gem. This came out. The special effects are magnificent, said the Daily Star.
But what does John
That's
think?
all they can say.
But what does John think?
Shocking. Absolutely shocking. If you feel the need at any time to waste 92 minutes of your life, this is the film.
Right.
Go and see this film at all costs if you want to be 92 minutes down on your life.
Let me tell you guys.
You know when you get
right?
to the end of your life and you think, I wasted 92 minutes sitting watching Day the Earth Stood Still with The special effects, which are amazing. Magnificent.
It tells you lies, right?
And what the hell is that? There. That is supposed to be Gort, the 7'1" robot that comes with Keanu Reeves' character. It's just, what the hell? It looks like it's got a balaclava on.
Right, this film, let me just tell you something about this film. This is how much John loves this film.
I hate it.
He kept trying to tell me I'd watched it when I knew full well I hadn't watched it.
I don't hate it. Just don't like it.
I actually had to make a note that I'd watched it because he kept saying, "You've seen it," and I said, "I knew I hadn't," and he kept insisting I'd seen it. That's how much he didn't want to watch this film. I think that's rather unfair. You should give every film a chance on its own merits, not just like it because it's the one from the 50s. I mean, I would give this film a 6 or a 7. You give it a 1. I wouldn't go on this guy's judgment now. You know, give it a watch because it's not that bad.
It's worse.
I mean, I'm not being funny, people, right? Which would you rather watch? Right? There's no way a lot of you are pointing to this one. Okay, there you go. You know, just that point approved. Right, we've got Connor here, my son, who's unbiased. Connor, out of the two, which would you rather watch?
I've never seen both. But,
I know you've never seen them, but if you had to watch one with a gun at your head.
Keanu Reeves, I like him in John Wick.
Yeah.
So Keanu Reeves, see?
But he's watching it for Keanu Reeves. He's not watching it for the amazing special effects.
These aren't bad films.
They're not bad films.
I mean, each one in their own right is good in its own way. I mean, like I said, I don't totally hate Silent Night, Deadly Night, and we do watch at least one of the versions every Christmas. We watched that once. I like to watch this one, and every now and then I will put this one on. And John is pretty good. He'll watch it. He doesn't complain too much. This one, I tell people who've not seen it they should see it. Just to get a reaction.
And I think because, as we both said, the films of today are largely based on a lot of CGI and very quick cut action and stuff like that.
Definitely not in this.
It's not in that. So if you're wanting something that's an anti-cinema film for today, that's the one to check out.
Yeah, if you've got nothing else better
None
to
of
do
them.
with your
None of the
time.
4 films that we talked about. We don't hate them.
You could go and scrub the toilet, clean the bath
while it's playing, and that would give you a great ambience.
And then you wouldn't have to watch it and pretend you did.
Yeah.
If you've got an opinion on any of these films or any comments you'd like to make, please do tell us. Message below. We're very interested in what you think. And if you'd like to see us review other things that aren't DVDs, I mean, we've got quite a lot of DVDs we can review for you guys. And a lot of them, like I've said in the past, we do not agree on. Some we do. Don't think we don't. Some we do. But out of those 4, it's definitely the 2 that you didn't like that are the better ones. Yeah.
Anyway, nice to see you. Vote Blacula, and we'll see you very, very soon. This is goodbye from me.
And goodbye from him. And take care. Please stay safe. And hopefully, next time you see me, I will have had my fringe cut because it's driving me mad.
Hopefully next time you see me, I'll have a fringe.
Bye.
Bye.